for joining us on the Midday Show on Echo Television International. Of course, we always talk about different countries and we tell you what they do and what you should not do when you visit a particular country. And today we'll be talking about the city, the Lion City, of course, which is Singapore. And I am not doing this alone. I have Tony in the studio with me. Hi, Tony.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look rubbish.
Thank you, as usual.
This spec reminds me of when we were in Singapore.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like when we first came to Singapore, then we decided to get this spec together.
Okay, yeah, that was the first thing, right?
That was the first time we went, and then this second time, I don't know what exactly we'll be needing to get collectively in order to show people that Singapore is actually a country.
Maybe we should get a color, maybe a shirt or thereabouts.
Okay, let's see. We'll explore, right?
Of course.
So we'll see what we'll get.
Of course, welcome to the City Lion of Singapore.
So
that is what is known.
How have you been?
Very well, I'm very well, thank you.
This is the first time this year I've been on the show with you.
Oh, that's true. Oh, no.
So
my apologies.
My absence was not felt. Is that
yeah,
what
of course, your absence was felt. A bit. Anyways, welcome back.
A bit.
Okay, no, your absence was actually
it should be at large.
Actually.
I mean, occupants now. Which one are you saying is a bit? A bit, Kuma.
Oshe, occupant. You're welcome to the show. Welcome back. Good to have you back, of course.
How are you doing?
How have you been?
I'm good. I'm ravishing.
Like this holiday that you just went for, it's bringing out some things in
this
you,
year
right?
Is my year. Let me say it like
of course, this year is everybody's year. Of course, we're going to explore this year, and then we're going to explore different countries
Most
this
definitely,
year.
Definitely.
So then we're talking about Singapore. So I was trying to make a research, and then I realized that Singapore is actually a place where one should visit.
Of course,
when you talk about visiting a particular place, when you talk about food, when you talk about a place to hang out, when you talk about entertainment and all of that, Singapore is one of the places you should visit. In as much as people say it's an expensive country, of course, if you want to go to a beautiful place, you need to go to where it's expensive. Spend your money and look good and
but then it's
enjoy
not really
yourself.
Expensive, oh. It's not
it's not really
as
expensive as what it sounds or what people say, but when you talk about visiting a particular country, you need to be ready to explore a lot of places because they have a lot of tourist attractions. They have places for you to visit. They have things for you to do. They have activities that you should engage yourself in, businesses. So you see, so when you find yourself in Singapore, then you should be able to explore a lot of things. Like for me, I think I want to go to different tourist places. Like this is where I know I'm going to have fun. This is where I know I'm going to enjoy a lot of things. Like I know that I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to eat different kind of meals, I'm going to have drinks and all of that.
Make sure when you are traveling to Singapore, go on a fasting of 1 week before traveling.
So you have space, you have
like their food, their meals is out of this world. Like I think one of the things that made them famous is because of their meals, because they prepare one of the most delicious meals in the whole of the world. True. And then talking about Singapore, I think is actually one of the smallest countries in Asia.
Yeah. And
then it's a country that is filled up or surrounded by a lot of islands. Talking about islands, they have about 60 thereabouts islands, and it's a place that's to some extent it's not really that big, but then whatever modernity, whatever civilization you want, it's there. And then one cannot take away the fact that it's a multilingual country where you have tribes or dialects or languages such as Malay, we have the Chinese, we have the India, we have and then English, of course, which is the lingua franca used for administrations and all. But then there are a lot of things that you are likely to come across. You come across a lot of tourist attractions, like places that you've never seen before, places that are magical, a lot of artistic structures, architects, and a lot of things that would wow you, and you'd be like, wow, it's got this beautiful. If this place if a place like this can be this beautiful, how would heaven be like?
How would paradise be
like? Paradise, that's the word. How would paradise be like? It's actually a nice country, and I'm not looking forward to visiting this country again, but then probably getting their citizenship, and then I'll just make here my place of residence. God's willing, yeah.
Wow.
Because they are nice. No, the thing is, they're actually nice, and there are a lot of things, there are ideas. I think it connects and relates with my own personal perception to life.
I agree with what you're
No,
saying.
you can't disagree. That's a simple truth. You can't disagree.
That is the problem
You
I
have
have
to
with
agree
you.
with me because I'm making a lot of sense
Yeah,
here.
true though. I agree with you, because when you talk about visiting Singapore, you know that you're visiting a country where you're going to enjoy. You're visiting a place where you're accepted. You're visiting a place where they will not show you the difference that you're a visitor, or maybe you don't belong to them and all of that.
True.
So when you find yourself in Singapore, I just agree with the fact that you begin to do a lot of things. You have places to visit, you have people to talk to, you have things to do. So then when you talk about business, it's a place for you to do your business, a place for you to explore.
Yeah,
So
true.
then people visit Singapore today because maybe they want to have one business or the other, maybe they're going to further education, or maybe they just want to start up something, maybe live a life there and all of that. So I feel it is just natural for you to live where you are, to just go to explore other countries or other places, because it's going to add up to what you want and the things you want to do. When you talk about the airport with the waterfall,
Like,
it's something
it's
beautiful.
magical.
It's
It's magical.
like the feeling alone.
Funny enough, the waterfall is inside the airport.
Yes, it's inside the airport. So then it's one thing for you to realize once you're landing, like you just see, it's like you just feel like this is beautiful.
It
Like
gives you this
you
hope
just
that, okay, I think what I want or what I've been looking for
is
it's
actually
achievable
here.
It's
True, is
achievable
achievable here. So then traveling to Singapore and then having a plan of your own. The thing is, first things first, you need to have your money. You need to be loaded, because you have a lot of things to do. If you limit yourself, you will not have the fun you're supposed to. And then when you think of doing a lot of things for yourself, you realize that you have people that you're going to carry along with you. You can't travel to a country without having a company or something. Like, you just need to be either 2, 3, 4 and thereabout, then you have more fun.
To make memories
Because
together.
of course you have memories together. And then when you think of visiting Singapore, then you have to think of the people you are meeting. They are homely, they are friendly. So then when you think of saying, okay, you want to do this and all of that, they have a lot of do's and don'ts.
True.
In Singapore. Of course, if you're traveling to a country, you need to make your research, you need to ask questions, you need to be sure that this place I'm visiting or this place I want to go to, what do they allow, what do they not allow, in order for you in order for you to understand that this particular thing I'm doing is the right thing. Because they have dues, they have penalties. And then if you find yourself in lots of
by the time we
seriously
continue to like explore
this country, you will
then
know all the things.
we reveal things that are penalty lacking
seriously.
to you.
So then
will
you
be
need
shocked.
to make your research. You need to tell yourself, okay, this country I'm going to, I need to understand what they want and what they do not want, in order for you to be on track, in order for you not to end up good. And then so you realize that if you find yourself in Singapore, you need to know that it's a tourist destination and it's hot and humid climate. Everything you want to do is not like it is limited, but at least you understand that this thing I'm supposed to do here is acceptable. I'm going to do here, it is not acceptable. So then you need to limit yourself to a lot of things. They have places where you go for shopping. They have places where you just go because you want to just be entertained,
In
maybe
other
the
words, let me
music
just
and all of that.
in other words, it's called the shopper's paradise. Like there is nothing
Actually, there's
on
nothing
earth
you cannot get
that
there.
you would want that you will not get in Singapore, except for chewing gum.
Like they said, as funny as it
like
is.
every other thing is gettable, but you see chewing gum. Oh my goodness.
And of course, again, if you're traveling, do not even take it along with you. Don't even take
now.
it.
Now with penalty of you paying, or a fine of you paying
$1,000. Like, just imagine for
lot.
chewing gum. Please, viewers, if you're traveling
you are
to
not
Singapore,
chewing, so long
please.
you have been caught with a chewing
Yes,
gum.
the chewing gum.
You'll
Like,
be
you
fined.
should not. You'll be fined $1,000. That is based on our research. So then, in order for you not to be fined, they said maybe the careless money you're not using, or if you don't like.
If you have a money that you don't want to
That
use,
you don't want to use, that is
chew-
when
you
you
can
can
chew
chew
chewing
gum.
gum,
So then they can take the money away from you. But of
in
course, who has?
in another words, just in case you have a money that you are not using, consider me too. I'll be in Singapore.
Because we still want to shop.
I'll be in Singapore.
We still want to shop in Singapore, so
Instead of
please
wasting it,
don't
instead
be
of
found
wasting it
wanting.
there.
Give us that $1,000. We know what to do with it. We'll put it
Of
into
course.
good use. Yeah, and then they have a lot of things that you should do. They said gender roles and statuses. They said 80% of men are about 50% of women are employed. When women have joined the workspace, and then in large numbers, but underrepresented in leadership positions. Of course, it's not not all countries that they accept women to lead for any reason.
It's common though.
It's common actually, so we understand that fact. Men are actually given the opportunity to lead to and all of that. So then women mostly they see it like your place is just in the house for you to be the housewife and then take care of things and all of that. But then they give you little opportunity to work and then to do other things. So then don't take it for granted. So if you find yourself in Singapore, somebody like me, I think I'm able to go there to do one or two things. Even if you don't go to work, maybe in offices and all of that, but then your opportunity to do businesses, go shop, and then you have to resell, and then you have your gain and all of that. So then it's accepted for you to do your job and then do all the things you're supposed to do, and then marriage, kingship, and family and all of that. They don't joke with family. That's the truth.
It's their number one priority.
Number one priority, family. I know of someone that will tell you that my family is very important to me. So if I have you as a partner and you don't want my family, man, you should go away. Like, I can't have you and then you will not love my family. Family is important to them. So then they make sure they take care of family. They give you what you want. They make sure they understand the things that you're supposed to get, education, maybe hospital bills and all of that. Understanding family is key to them. Loving family is key to them. So they don't joke with family at all. So then if you're going to Singapore, make sure you love your family. Make sure you have the love to go round, of course, because once you see them doing that, maybe they're showing the affection and all of that, don't feel bad. If you're coming from where you don't love each other, then that's the problem for you. You feel intimidated because you see a brother and a sister working hand in hand together.
They are doing weird, sort of.
Of course, so you realize something is not just right, or nothing is adding up. But then you need to understand that people in Singapore love each other. They value family a lot. Like, family is something that they don't joke with. So then you should not joke with their families. If you find yourself in Singapore, you have maybe a family you're going to stay with and all of that, you need to understand that they love each other. So you need to key into that and love them as well the way you're supposed to, so you don't end up saying, no, I was not taught all these things and all of that. Then family is important to them and all they do.
Talking about the employment rate in Singapore, like, it's a thing, or should I say it's an important thing, or an excitement to know, or exciting to know that it's exciting to know that there are a lot of availability of jobs there. Because I have a friend that stays there. She just moved there recently, like I think last year December, and she was telling me that the opportunity of job there is huge. But then it has to do with credibility. You have to be someone that they can really trust. You have to be transparent enough for them to really see what's probably the motive you are, because I don't want to mention our country, but then from the country we are from, knowing the fact that we are from our country, they would have trust issues and all. But then the availability of job is like it's there, and there is nothing like maybe you going there and then it's stranded of accommodation. So long you have an assurance of getting a job there, your accommodation is going to be it's going to be what's the word? It's going to be taken care of. Your transportation is going to be taken care of, because every morning there is a bus that the company, or probably companies, have at the roadside that will pick you up to your workplace, then as well drive you back to your
There's
destination.
a particular bus stop,
and again, you don't even get to waste money on data. In your office place, there are free data. There are free Wi-Fi. When you come back home, there is free Wi-Fi. And again, aside from that, there are people that are employed to wash your clothes. Like, all of these things are things that you don't have to necessarily think about. The only thing you do is just to get what to eat when you are back. And even at work, there are people that are employed as well to cook for the staff, that you don't have to necessarily think of either buying lunch or break time. Like, everything is just available. They are living a soft life.
So tell me why you don't
and
want
when
to
she
go
was
to such
telling
a
me
country.
this, I was like, oh my goodness.
You just want to find yourself.
What's going on with me now? Like, it's a very interesting country. It's a country that when someone tells you about it, you'll be motivated to leave whatever place you are to be there too. So I think they are just living a soft life, and for the fact that it's a small country, I think the government there is doing very okay in order to cater for our citizens, and then take care of one thing or the other. And the issue of insecurity is almost like it's like almost like as if there is nothing as regards insecurity and all of that. So the lives there are secured, everything there is secure, the property is going to be secured, and everything is just going to be so fine for you. And that's why I told you earlier that I wouldn't mind gaining their citizenship, so that I'll take or probably see the place as my place of residence.
Yeah, I understand, because who wouldn't want to go to a beautiful
Like
place
a place
like
that
that?
you
You
have an
have,
absolute peace of
seriously,
mind.
like, you don't have any issues, you're not thinking of any. Of course, it's not like issues will not come, they will, but
There will
then
be
the thing
challenges,
is,
of
there'll be
course.
challenges, but then the thing is, once you're in a peaceful place like that, you won't want to stress yourself about a lot of things, because you have access to almost everything. Then when you talk about socialization in Singapore, is another thing that I look forward to, because even when you talk about going to places, talk about meeting people, they don't just show you the difference about you and maybe some people there and all of that. They don't see you, even as much as we know you are a visitor in the country, you are someone that is just visiting for the first time, but then they don't take it for granted. They see it like an opportunity for you to explore and understand and learn a lot of things. When you talk about socialization and how they take
Care of their
children,
children,
and
yeah.
all of that, if they're going to maybe business centers, if maybe they're going to offices and all of that, they can take their
They
kids,
have
their
care
infants,
centers, yeah, infant
along
care.
with them, in which they are well trained, that you understand that once they are with you, it's not the issue of saying they're going to disturb you or distract you from doing a lot of things. There are places where you can keep your kids, that they will enjoy themselves and then not even feel the absence, your absence, for the moment in which you're concentrating in your meeting or maybe anything you're doing, because it's very important to you. Of course, your children are still important to you, but then the need of you keeping them at home did not just is not really important. You just feel they should come along with you. So then they said they can socialize with other kids, they can actually do a lot of things together, and you are there concentrating on your business, gaining all the things you want to gain, understanding what you want to understand and all of that. Then when you're done, you can come back to your children, and then he said even they don't even misbehave because they are well trained.
Of course.
So of course, if you find yourself in such a country that you realize that all these things are being taken care of, why do you want to stress yourself about a lot of, why do you want to see it like something that is not going to work out for you? So then it's very important to know that children are really obedient because they are taught well.
True.
So wherever it is you take them to and you ask, okay, you're not supposed to do this, I'm in a meeting, can you just sit in this place? Like, obediently they will. So then we understand that if this is what we're supposed to be doing, we should understand that when you visit Singapore, even if you go with your children, if they don't want to hear you or understand what you're doing, you need to train them well.
Yeah,
of course they can be punished
yeah,
if they
you can-
misbehave.
They can be punished.
There
Even
are countries that
physically,
you cannot even you cannot
beat
punish children and
or
all
shout
of
at
that.
your child itself.
But then in Singapore, like, they feel like it's another way for you to train your child. If he should misbehave in the public place, you scold him.
Yeah, true.
Like, you can do, like you can just show the person that this thing you're doing is wrong, and of course they will understand and they will end up doing the right thing. So it's just very good for you to know that even if you're going to a place like you're thinking of where to keep your kids and all that, is not a problem for you in Singapore.
There are hundreds of kindergartens, there are hundreds of nurseries that you can easily just have your child being registered into, and they will take care of your child. You wouldn't be in your workplace and then be thinking of what would my child, like, what would she eat, like what's going on there with her. Like, a lot of distractions that is likely to come into your head is going to be absolutely taken care of by those that are in charge of children. But then one thing that I think strikes me is the fact that in spite their level of education, they try as much as possible to see that education is one key thing, because even in their taking care of children, they don't just ensure the child just to be there, but then there are some basic information, basic knowledge that those in charge of those children will definitely input into their heads or into their mind, and then from there you see that learning has already taken place. You see that education is already coming into them gradually. Civilization, or probably, let's say, ideas are already beginning to set into their head, and then by so doing, you realize that they are beginning to think in their own, and then they are beginning to do things the way they are supposed to be done. But then I think one thing that we are supposed to take cognizance is that most times we feel those that should take care of our children, I'm trying to remember the name they call them, nannies or so. I think it's not really about them, but then even your own input as a parent, I think is very important. Because if you are a parent that tends to go to work every week, like every day of the week, you should ensure that during weekend you are supposed to spend the time with them in totality, so that you will be able to input some certain things that those nannies are unable to input into them. And by so doing, you are inputting a lot of things that will probably sit even well than what the nannies are probably are inputting into their head. So it's very essential that you don't just leave your kids to nannies alone, but then when you have that time, make sure that time is worthwhile. Make sure that it is of great importance to them, so that they'll be able to know that, okay, yes, my dad or my mom's input inside of me, and I can as well boost of it anytime or to anybody at any point in time. So that's one thing that I like about them, because I think they give much significance to this particular thing I just said. And then aside from that, the issue of etiquette is very essential there, in the sense that they try as much as possible to greet the elderly ones. There are some countries that you don't necessarily have to greet anybody. All you need to do is just to walk past whatever person you walk passing, or better still, they feel you greeting someone is you not maybe minding your business and all. But here, so long you are an elderly person, you will be expected. Sorry, a younger one will definitely greet you and then pay some sort of homage to you and all of that. But then, as regards maybe when you are in a very big and official position,
you're wealthy,
you should know that those under you will be the ones to give,
of course,
such
to give you
credence
the
to
respect and all of that. Because
True.
when you understand, like, there are countries where you visit and then you realize that, okay, they give respect to the older ones and all of that. But then when you find yourself in another different country, you realize if you're wealthy, if maybe you're in a high position, if maybe you're a politician, or all these CEOs and all of that, and then if you find yourself in such positions, you realize even the older ones are giving you the respect.
True.
Because you have it, you have
True.
everything. So then in Singapore, they said even when you are in a higher position, formally they give you the respect that it is meant for you. Like, they don't just take that away from you, no matter how bad or good you are. Of course, they give you that. And then they have great differences between formal and informal gestures and all of that they do. And then in places where you find yourself, social places and all of that, even when you find yourself in social places, you still give that person the respect he deserves. But then as older people, you still give them their own respect. So I feel even if that person is older or younger, like, it should be in you to respect one another. That's one thing I understand. You find yourself in a country, why not just show the people in the country that you're coming from a well-trained country, like maybe from a well-trained family and all of that. Your background should always show for you. Don't always go outside what you're supposed to do. So then if you find yourself in Singapore, show them that you're coming from a place that is well to do as well. Don't just come and show them, like, okay, maybe you don't want to show them the respect they deserve and all of that. It's very important to know that they take a lot of things very, very important to them and all of that. So then between women and men, food rules of the ethnic groups are always respected. So even when you find yourself in restaurants and all of that, they tell you things you should do and things you should not do. So then if you find yourself in places like that, make sure you know the right thing to do in order not for them to give you any penalty or you end up paying a fine and all of that, because they'll fine you very well and then you have to pay a lot of money. So would you want to do that
Unless
to yourself?
You want to spend 3 months in jail.
Except you want to spend, wow, do I want to do that?
Just in case you want to stay, like, you want to stay more longer and you don't have the funds, you can easily just commit a sin and stay 3 months extra.
Why would I want to? Why would I even want to do that to myself? Of course, they have places for you to visit. And then when you talk about death and the afterlife, a funeral is a major ritual for the ethnic group. Then the idea of an afterlife is generally shared. So they always tell you how to live your life and what to do and how important it is to them and to you as well. So then if you talk about things to do and things not to do, always be sure of the kind of things you want to do. So then we have 10 things you should avoid doing in Singapore. Please, they said chewing of gum. They said even if it is in you, even if you plan on bringing it, take it away from you. That's why I said if you want to go to a particular country, make sure you make your research, make sure you ask questions so you know things you should carry along with you and things you should not even think of. If they find you with chewing gum, I'm sorry, you have to pay the fine. I said it's $1,000. Just imagine.
$1,000.
Do you know what that means? Like, if you convert it into naira. And then so then the thing is, don't take it along with you. Not even by mistake. Just keep it, because you said you can shop for anything.
Keep it, or don't even.
That I said, keep it away. Like, just take it out of where you're supposed. Maybe your bag and all of that. They said if you find yourself in Singapore, you can shop for anything you want to shop, but not chewing gum. Like, you cannot even have it. So take it out of your mind. Like, don't even have it. And then smoking. In places, they said they have assigned places where you can smoke. So if it is not in that particular place, if they find you somewhere else again, say you're going to pay fine. And then they have different prices in which they give to all these things. So if you are a smoker,
I think the list of a pack of smoke or cigarettes there is, I think, $20 to $10 range.
Just imagine. So then, like, and then say you're not allowed to smoke more than 19 or 16
No,
sticks.
you're not supposed to be seen with more than 19 sticks.
And then you have to even go and pay for, like, you have to
Like
go and
there,
register.
like there are
them.
lots of registrations
Like,
you are going
why
to
do
go
I
through.
want to go through this
You'll go
stress?
through the process of customs, you go through the process of police.
And then you need
go
to be
through-
going along with the receipts.
Is it the receipt or some
Receipt,
sort of
the receipt
okay,
you've paid for
to
it.
show for
So then
it.
to show for it, because of course they're going to search you. So then once they find you with this cigarette, they have to ask you, how did you pass with this? And then you say you paid for it, like you had to register.
What's
Like,
up with this,
just imagine the stress.
Like,
So please, if
Isn't
you
necessary.
if you smoke a lot, or if you're a chain smoker and all of that, don't even find yourself in Singapore.
or
Like, go somewhere
maybe
else.
you're trying to work on your
Or if you want to
your
stop
habit,
smoking,
yeah, the habit
yes,
of smoking.
then maybe Singapore is
yeah,
a place
the best
for you
place
to
for you to go, because they will really help you cut it.
They'll help you
honestly.
cut it off, like, completely. So then there are things that you should know, and then eat in a cafe or restaurant as well. You said the tastiest food is the cheapest.
True.
Like, just imagine, like, the food you're craving for, like the food you feel is going to be expensive is actually the one you can just afford, like, just
One of
go.
the
And then they
cheapest
say they
meal.
weigh the food they buy.
True.
So then you should make sure that they weigh that food, and you can see that the numbers on it is corresponding to the receipts you have.
Yes.
So in order for you not to realize they maybe is under or is above and all of that. So then eating in public as well is accepted for you to eat in located places,
But not in public transport.
but not in public transport. Of course, if you're traveling, or maybe if you're in a bus with a lot of people,
No matter
they say,
how minor.
no
that
matter
thing
how it
is,
is,
you're not
don't
allowed
even.
to
That's
eat
why
in
they said it's
public
one of the
transport.
cleanest places, one of the
True.
cleanest countries, because even in their buses on the streets and all of that, you hardly see them littering things on the floor and all of that. So if you find yourself in the bus, public buses, of course, you should not eat and litter it. And then even if you have it, just maybe you put it in your bag or something like that. Then when you leave, you can just go and trash it somewhere, because it's actually you're actually going to pay a fine for it as well.
True.
So then don't eat in public transports and all of that. Just make sure you understand all these do's and don'ts in order for you not to end up doing something that's going to make you to pay a fine and all.
And it's don't connect to unsecured network. For most of us, that by the time you see
just see
free
Wi-Fi, you want to
just
connect it, you'll be
start
penalized
downloading,
for
you'll be
it as
penalized,
well.
and you'll be seen as if you are hacking into someone
Someone's
else's
account or something,
device
yeah.
or something. So it's prohibited for you to hack in, or probably connect to Wi-Fi that you just see from anywhere. But then there are some places that you would even indicate free Wi-Fi, that is, you can connect to this Wi-Fi and do whatever thing you want to do. But don't just like privately, you see someone else's hotspot on and then you decide to connect. Like, it's a very bad thing for you to just connect to something illegally, or when someone is not really aware of the fact that he or she's hotspot is on or switched on also. And then they say you should desist from taking drugs. I think this is a common thing that I think is observed everywhere or
Of
every
course.
country. You are not supposed to be seen with illicit drugs or stuff, so that it won't either dent your image as a person, or probably as well give a bad impression about the country that you're coming from. Just like I said earlier, if you're a Nigerian in Singapore, they will have trust issues with you, because they know our stories and they know what we are capable of. But then they see us to be hardworking and smart. It is that our smartness that is even the problem with them. Because they feel you go extra miles
Yeah.
of doing everything you want to do in order to just get what you want.
And also, do not leave tips whatsoever.
Yeah, true.
Maybe when you find yourself in the airport, or maybe in the marketplace, or anywhere you find yourself, don't leave tips, because it's more, they see it like disrespectful for them, or maybe you're trying to violate a law or something like that. So then it's impossible for you to just, you said, but then if it is necessary for you to leave tips, then it shouldn't be physical. It shouldn't be something that you show the whole world or
It's not
people
really
around.
customary. It's not
not
necessary.
customary. It's not necessary for you to leave tips. But then if you feel you need to, you feel
You want
if you feel
to,
you want
it's
to,
a
then
matter
you
of
should. But
choice.
then it is not something that is mandatory for you to do when you find yourself anywhere. Maybe when someone helps you to do something,
Maybe
then you
carry your
want to
bag
give.
or
Yeah,
something.
it's not necessary. But if you feel that is what you should do, you should as well. And then jumping off queues again, if
Is
is
a weird
prohibited.
thing.
Like, it's a weird thing. Like
That
they
is to show
don't
you
do
that
that
they
really.
are so patient. Some of us these days we find it extremely difficult to stand patiently either to get something when there is a queue and all of that. You would want to maneuver your way to
Your ways,
get
because
into the
yeah,
front and
because you
all
just
of
want
that.
to be there.
So
like,
they don't allow that.
Yeah,
so
true.
long you are the last person, you will stay until it is your turn. I
and then
think,
showing of excess skin again
Yeah,
is
it's
something that
very
is
bad.
not allowed.
I think the fine there
like,
is $2,000.
Yes, $2,000. Just imagine. Or even they can tell you you'll be locked maybe for like 3 months again, or 4 months. 3 months. You'll be locked, because if you feel this is something you want to do and maybe you were penalized the first time, you paid the fine, second time, they said the third time they'll take you to jail. You have to stay for 3 months. They say that's where you can keep your beautiful skin there. So in order for you not to show excess skin, just imagine. So please, like, if you're going there, just make sure you are smartly dressed. You don't show excess skin, maybe wear one sensitive part of your body and all. They say you can do that in your rooms, in your neighborhood, like just inside your room and your hotel room and all of that. But then don't take it to public places and all of that, because they will do a lot of things to you and you will not like it. They have a lot of things to do and not to do and all of that. But then I think we should take a time out. When we're back, we'll continue what we're going to do.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to take a time out, and when we come back, we'll continue to tell you things to do in Singapore and then food to eat and places to visit. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Thank you for still being there and then enjoying the midday show live on Echo Television. I still have Tony in the studio with me. Welcome back.
Of course.
Like you're going nowhere. We're here together.
We are here together.
Of course, like I was talking about places to visit and things to do. So now we have places for you to visit in Singapore. Can you take us the first?
Are you saying it's for us? I mean for people.
Okay, for people.
We visited now. Which one is for us? For me. Then we have Haupal Villa. And it says it's freshly reopened, actually. That is, there have been a lot of innovations since the year 2021, which is like 2-3 years ago. So, when you have a place renovated, you should know that there are a lot of things that you are likely, it's not even likely that you are going to see, like a refurnished sort of things. And it's a place that has to do with Asian culture, or that reveals Asian culture. And when you have places like that, it refreshes your brain to what the Asian culture used to be like, and what it is as at that point in time, and what is likely to be in the future. So it's a place that gives you a mind, that resets your mind to positivity. It gives you this knowledge of what life used to be, and then what life is right now, what life is likely to be in the future. And it's a place that depicts stories or fables of Chinese literature as back as 14th century. That is, there are a lot of things that are reserved. They're in as much as Singapore really do not take much importance, or probably want to reveal their cultures as such. They try as much as possible to have a limited glance, or probably a limited insight to their culture. You don't want it to be a thing of much exposure for people to really see, but then they will give you an insight, they'll give you a glance of how things used to be like. So I think it's a nice thing. But for the fact that it is even renovated, it is a thing that you would probably be more gliding to see the renovated things and all of that, in as much as it's not really going to cost you your time, or cost you much effort into going there and all that, because it's not even far from Singapore city itself. But I think it's even within the city. So it's a place that you can go effortlessly and do whatever thing you want to do. It's a place that you can have yourself refreshed in terms of new ideas, new innovations, and then you tend to be striking, to be motivated. I feel motivated
like the way you're even saying it, like I understand you want to find yourself in Singapore, but see how you're motivating yourself.
It's not a matter of let me correct you. I'm not finding myself to go to Singapore.
You're there already.
I have been there before, and I'm going again.
And you're going there again.
Sure.
I wish you all the best. You have the Jewel Changi Airport. They said it's the world's class aviation hub, which got better even in 2019 with the opening of Jewel, a dome-shaped complex home to breathtaking attractions featuring nature and remarkable architecture. And then it's under one roof. The Jewel's postal attraction is none other than 40-meter high rain vortex, which happens to be the world's largest indoor waterfall. And then it's situated among some 2,000 trees and a madrid of shopping, food, and dining amenities.
Wow.
Then just see the beauty, the sight of it alone is something like you should. I was talking about the waterfalls. Like, just look at how beautiful it is.
This is kind of sight, or this is kind of place you see and you'll be asking God, when?
Like when we like, well, like when is
But
this
when?
when
When
did
is
I
it going to be
find
my
myself?
turn?
Do you understand? Like it's just so beautiful, it's attractive, it's a place where people want to
It's a
go
place
to
to die
shop,
in.
eat and dine and all of that. Like it's very interesting to know that when you find yourself in this place, like locating all these places is not going to be difficult, because there are places where you can visit and
True.
explore. You can shop, you can eat, you can drink, you can just marry, like just live the life, just live the moment. That is what is important, because you don't need to use challenges
YOLO,
and
you
all that.
live
You
only
only live
once.
once. So yes, of course, if you find yourself in Singapore, make sure you visit these places. Like it's very beautiful to just the sight of this waterfall alone is something for you to just want to see, and then want to have an experience of it. You just want to take pictures and all, just to have memories of it. See the way people are just around it and how happy they
You
are
know,
and all of
when
that.
you were saying this, I just remembered one thing that one of my friends told me. He said, if the best place to die is in a beautiful place. So
Just imagine.
so if you die in a beautiful place, you are likely to go to heaven. It's not a
But
matter of likely you are
just see
going
they
to heaven
believe.
directly. Because
Anyway,
there's
okay,
no
so
way
if
you
you
will die
want
in a
to die,
beautiful
please go
place
to a
and
beautiful
end
place.
up in a very ugly place, or probably hellfire or something.
Please
So
live
you
a
have
good
to die.
life. Please live a good life, and you go to a
So in case you are looking
beautiful
for a
place.
place to die,
Go to Singapore because it's beautiful.
then we have the Fort Canning Park. So it's actually an ancient artifact mixed with lush greenness at the Fort Canning Park, and then it's one of the Singapore's historical landmarks. Highlights of this park include the Fort Gate, and then the remains of the 14th century fortress built by Singapore's colonial masters. The Maritime Corner, which tells Singapore's story dating back to when she was just a trading post, and then the Battle Box, an underground military complex used during the event of the Second World War. You can enjoy the massive lawns of Fort Canning Green as well, surrounded by old gateways and then gazebos. The park is perfect for both learning more about Singapore's history, for simply unwinding and then enjoying nature in the city. Like, I don't just know, but you know, some of the ideas that God has given unto man in order to make some certain things known and seen, you'll be wondering if God can give this much of intelligence to human. How intelligent can himself be? Because you know, when you see once or probably one building something as beautiful as this, and then you'll be wondering the inspiration behind such build, you would be thinking, or probably to put into consideration, sorry, is it consideration, no, to put you to thinking or imagination to see how heaven is going to be like.
I like it, like you're just comparing Singapore with heaven, paradise.
It's making me feel as if it's the second heaven here on earth.
Yeah, like it's very beautiful, and it's a place they said is actually opened till 10 p.m. Like the sight of it in the night, like the beauty and all of that in the night is something to behold. And then showing you two sides of the incredible theme park within one action-packed day. So then, if you find yourself, they said the beautiful waterfront to something more magical. It is something that you just want. Like if you're there, I just don't want to know how they're feeling. Like
what are you talking about?
I'm asking
Sorry.
myself. We're talking about. I don't understand. You're asking me what I'm talking about.
You know, heaven is large now, so I'm already imagining myself in one. So where exactly are we talking about?
We're talking about the Fort Canning Park.
Okay.
What's your Of course, the Fort Canning Park is actually a place for you to visit because it's very beautiful. And then the sight of it alone, and then when they think it's opened till 10 p.m. So if you are a night caller, at least by 10 p.m. you should be back home because you still enjoy yourself in that place. And then we have the Chinatown. It said it's home to tantalizing food.
Wow, food.
When you talk about food, please.
No. Underlies tantalizing.
Tantalizing
the
food.
Together. Oh my goodness, such
like cultural heritage and fantastic
architecture. Said, oh my goodness.
And then it's bound to charm you with its attractions.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then you can embark on a heritage trail and take in the sight of Singapore's religious diversity at sites such as the Sri Mariman Temple, Masjid Jamaid, and then some other places. They said the food hotspots are littered through the area as well with local favorites and things that you can find all waiting for you to just explore and then enjoy it and all of that. So the Chinatown is a place for you to visit, a place for you to go and explore, a place for you to go and have fun, a place for you to just go and live the life, enjoy yourself in that particular place, because you have different varieties of food that you're going to eat. You have different things. They said the sight of it alone is something
it's
to
not
awe
even
you.
about the side, even the activities that are embedded, in that
there, the
place.
things that you will do there and all of
Oh
that.
my goodness.
It's the expression for me.
Then we have the Spectral Light and Water Show. They said this event is a plaza facing Marina Bay to raise and enjoy a fantastic light and water show performed in the heart of Singapore that is bound to leave you in awe. And then, using the darkened backdrop of Singapore's central business district, be treated to a 15-minute performance of laser beams, dancing water streams, visual projections, accompanied by an orchestral soundtrack composed by local producer King C. I don't know who that is anyway.
Because it's in Singapore, so
No, this is a stunning display right by the water, and then it's split up into 4 acts every Friday to Sunday. And then this enhances
weekend
beautiful waterfront to something even more magical. That is, there are difference of color displays inside this water that you get to see from Friday to Sunday.
So in case you want to
when
see
you go on Friday, what you
weekends,
see on Saturday is going to be different from what you see on Sunday.
Oh
I'm
my
God.
God. So why don't you want to find yourself on Friday, Saturday, and
I
Sunday?
just told you Singapore is every two. I was joking.
Of course, I agree with you, because if you find yourself in Singapore, like, you explore and do a lot of things. They have a lot of places to visit in Singapore. Tell me, if you see the different light or different color on a Friday, Saturday you're seeing a different color, or Sunday you're seeing a different color, why don't you want to
like,
do the
how
light?
come?
Like, how is this thing happening? Like, how possible? Like, how possible is this? Like, you just want to explore this thing, you just want to enjoy, you want to have fun, you want to live the life. So then don't just exclude yourself into going to places like that.
Because
And then I think
though.
the last place we should talk about places to visit is the Clarke Quay. They said is a primarily night spot. That's for people who love going out in the night. And then the riverside, and then it's home to iconic dance music clubs, and then the bars, and then live music. If you're looking for a place to enjoy drinks and take in the nice life of the city, look no further than visiting the Clarke Quay. And then where you will be spoiled for choice about food, drinks, and of course entertainment. If I have any place I want to visit,
I know it's
Singapore,
going to be you will like party.
Clarke Quay. Like, I love to have fun, I love to enjoy, because if you think about the challenges, that's what someone will tell you. Thank God we don't look like our problems.
True.
If you're going to look like a problem, just imagine how you're going to look.
You just dropped once. You just
I
dropped
know,
one.
right?
All this while you've never dropped one.
Are you oh, really? So you're going to tell me that today, right? Okay, no problem. But the thing is, you should live a life that is going to be pleasing to God, of course, and then you should live a life that
is very important.
Very
Heaven
important.
Is the goal, I just
So
said it
then,
that
when you talk about visiting places in Singapore, I think Clarke Quay is a place for you to go and clear your head. Because when you talk about visiting places where you go and see different waterfalls, different colors of things, where to eat and all of that, it will amaze you to do a lot of that. When you talk about the Clarke Quay area, the place where you find yourself, they said
how
if
the
you're
word sounds
Clarke Quay.
Oh my God.
And then they said if you're looking for a place where you want to have different varieties of food, music, entertainment, they said think of none other place than Clarke Quay.
It sounds foreign. Clarke Quay.
I don't know what your problem is.
Tell me why did you miss me?
You have it. Yes, of course I miss you. Of course you can't talk about visiting places, visiting all these tourist attractions, and then doing all the businesses.
Have we talked about food?
You've not. Of course you cannot do all these things without talking about food. That's where I was going to land. Of course you've talked about visiting places, talk about things to do, activities and things not to do. But then you can't just leave me without talking about food.
You can't leave us, me especially in capital letter.
Like, do you understand?
I will cease to exist.
You're just a foodie.
Yes, I agree with you. I embrace being foodie.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we have food in a daily life, of course, generally in Singapore. They have rice, fish, chicken, and vegetables. So when you want to prepare them, you can just mix them together with anything and all of that. But then they have different varieties of food. We have the chicken rice. And then chicken rice in Singapore is unofficial national dish. So then the deceptive, simple looking dish wows dinners with the fragrance of its rice. And they said it's cooked in chicken broth and then coupled with perfectly poached chicken and sweet chili sauce. They said chicken rice is available at most hawker centers and food courts in Singapore, with the most popular stalls selling out by lunchtime.
You are talking and perceiving aroma of chicken, right?
I know, like the sight of
like
this
it's doing me as if the
alone.
breath coming out from your mouth is chicken.
Are you sure you're not hungry?
It's the smell of chicken.
Please just tell me you're hungry so I just know what to do. Okay, yeah, of course. When you talk about all these things and then food and all of that, is very delicious. But then they said it's not really one of their main dishes. But then it is something that is having done in lunchtime. Of course, something you can do without. Like the sight of this meal alone. Of course, you can't do without.
I thought you can do without.
No, I said you can't do without.
Okay.
Please.
The T was not well pronounced.
Okay, you can't do without.
Then we have kaya toast and soft boiled eggs. They said, ask any local for an example of a typical Singaporean breakfast, and he or she will invariably cite kaya toast and soft boiled eggs for you. This is a jam made of coconut milk, pandan eggs, and then served with butter on grilled slice of toast. This is typically accompanied by soft boiled eggs, broken in a bowl, and then mixed with white pepper and a few drops of dark soy sauce. Oh my god.
Like, just look at this.
That's
breakfast.
Tell me
Please
to
wake
wake
up,
up
wake
from my
up, wake
imagination.
up, wake up. Stop imagining it, please. I beg you, just come back. Don't be lost in it. Of course, the side of this meal alone, that's breakfast for you. Of course, your breakfast should always be light.
This
but
kind of
this
breakfast, I would love to sleep early so I'll be able to wake up. I'll be able to wake up.
So you'll be able to wake up very early, so you don't have the breakfast. Of course, then you have when you talk about eating and all of that, you have this kaya toast should come as breakfast, and then when you talk about chicken rice should come as lunch as well. Again, so then they have it lined up. Have the nasi lemak, so it's one of the widespread Malay dishes in Singapore, and it's commonly but not only enjoyed at breakfast again, but then you can use it as maybe your lunch. It consists of rice infused with panda, coconut milk, accompanied with maybe a variety of garnishes including roasted peanuts, eggs, and the rest of them. Don't forget to mix in a dollop of sambal, a sweet chili paste that is unique to the region. So of course, it's another meal you can have as breakfast.
Anyway.
You can have it as breakfast or even lunch. Again,
you're likely
then
not to find it everywhere in Singapore, but then it's regional. There's a particular region that you go and then you find this particular meal served, and then probably common over there. But then generally in the country, you hardly get to see. But then I think if you are the type like me that craves for food, or probably that fancy food,
the type like me that I'm a foodie, that's what you should say.
Whichever way you put it, that's best known to you. If you are a foodie like me, like she had said, you would love to go whatever region this particular meal is prepared, so that you have a taste of it, and then you are likely to enjoy your life to the fullest. Have eaten yourself up to pour. You have don't drink to intoxication. No.
Please, that is out of it though. Don't find yourself doing that.
No, even the Bible says we shouldn't eat to intoxication.
Of course, yes. Are you not a PK?
Keep quiet.
Are you not supposed to know that? Let me say it to the world. Are you not supposed to know that you're
so one cannot just forget something?
How can you forget it when you know that that's the right thing to do?
Okay, let me keep quiet. No, we have roti prata. The roti prata is one of the Singaporeans' favorite late night snacks, thanks to wide availability of prata stores that operate late into the night. But then this is a flat bread of South Indian region served with curry. It can be sweet or savory, and then typically comes in several flavors, with popular iterations including cheese prata, egg prata, and banana. You can even have Tony prata too. in case, no, it's likely to be there.
That's everything prata.
Yeah, since you have prata, you're likely to see Tony prata too, or Linda prata. Believe you me, you can't tell.
Or you can have Linda prata.
All of these people, well, all of this prata thing, it comes after those that initiated. It's a joke anyway.
For the fact that this roti prata is actually a late night snacks, I think I'm in for it. Because there are times that you understand, like not like I like anything late.
You like
no.
Okay,
I don't like anything
like
late.
it.
No. So far as
people of the dark.
No, like so far as because I can Wow, so you're out for me. No
Yeah.
problem. But why I'm saying that is because you know most times you tell yourself that you don't want to eat heavy at night. So now you tell yourself once it's 6 p.m. you're not going to eat anything again. But the fact that this is a late night meal, somebody like me, I think I can dive on it even if it's around 11 p.m. I don't have
I
a
just said
problem
it.
with that.
People are looking
It's
for
food
how
I'm going to
people are
eat.
looking for how to be children of the light.
What if
Someone
I'm
is
seeing
going.
a movie?
Someone is looking for how to
I'm
be a
seeing
child of the
movie
dark.
and I just want to eat something? You can't just be seeing a movie and then you're not just chewing something.
Must you have to
please.
watch movie in the night?
Of course. Excuse me, please. We're talking about nasi biryani. That's another food in Singapore. And then this aromatic dish consists of rice and chicken. Of course, again, they don't joke with chicken in that place. So that you can mix it and then eat it and all of that. So it's another meal you should have. They have the chili crab, and then it's one of the few dishes on the list that you might not find at a typical hawker center. But then the chance to savour chili crab is well worth the trip to a seafood restaurant. And then this delicacy comes in several flavors. Of course, any flavor you want to have it is available for you.
True.
You can find it in any restaurant you find yourself, and then it's opened at any time. Chili crab is best shared with friends at a round table as you can crack open the shell to reveal the tender white meat beneath. So of course another meal you can eat with friends. But of course,
Beneath.
if they send you come my place, tell them say you don't see me. I have to tell you this.
Are we not against them already?
I thought you think you want to be entering me. We have the satay, classic Malay dish, consists of the skewered meat served with rice cakes and dipped in a sweet peanut sauce. They have different kind of
Lots of like even
different
one that sounds
delicacies.
like a platoon name, Rorschach. I mean, is it Rorschach?
Rojak. The spicy salad is a riot of flavors thanks to the intensity of the peanut sauce, which frequently contains chili paste, sweet potatoes, soy sauce, and more. Some of the ingredients you might find in your rojak, including the tofu, eggs, potatoes, tunic, and chili.
You see tonic, man. You see, it sounds
You
like
did not
Tony,
say
but
Tony.
you see, it sounds like they wanted to write Tony, but for the fact that the originator of this dish is trying to be selfish, he decided to omit some part of my spelling and then put something. But then it's fine.
Oh, you need deliverance today. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I'm done with you.
If
already.
they can have Rojak, why can't they have Mogak?
Anyways, it's interesting to know that Singapore was actually a
nice
beautiful
place to
country,
go.
a nice place that we talked about. And then visiting Singapore, it's not is of course going to be in my bucket list because they have a lot of activities, places to visit and things to do, food to eat, of course, because if you travel you have to eat, you need to explore different kind of delicacies, and then you go to different places. You only live life once, so then why not live the life? Thank you, Tony, for doing this with me. Of course, like, it's good to have you back, actually. Welcome back on board. Why are you happy? Take it. All right. Thank you, viewers, for doing this with us. It was the Midday Show live on Elko Television. I hope you had fun. And I hope you have that back of your mind that you're going to visit Singapore soon, just the way we plan on visiting again with Tony. Have a blessed day.